Interesting tattoo, Sergeant Brooks. A snake design. Where did you serve to get something so special?
They mocked her tattoo. Then the Marine colonel pulled off his jacket. Staff Sergeant Lena Brooks wiped grease from her hands at Camp Pendleton's motor pool at Order 800 on Friday morning, ignoring the snickers from junior Marines who couldn't see past her faded serpent tattoo to the classified warrior beneath. In 30 minutes, Colonel Vincent Nash would change everything when he recognized what that ink really meant. Lena, 29, is a Marine Corps mechanic hiding her true identity as former Unit Meridian operative, a black ops team that officially never existed. The serpent tattoo marking her forearm represents membership in the military's most classified unit, dissolved after a catastrophic mission that left only 6 survivors from 12 operators. What happened during Colonel Nash's routine inspection would shatter Lena's carefully constructed cover and expose how a forgotten warrior's past was about to collide with present dangers threatening every surviving member of the most secretive unit in military history. Friday morning at Camp Pendleton's Vehicle Maintenance Battalion, Southern California. The motor pool operates under constant pressure, maintaining combat vehicles, training junior mechanics, and preparing equipment for deployments worldwide. Lena works among standard Marines who see only a competent mechanic, unaware they're serving alongside a former Black Ops operator. Unit Meridian operated outside normal military channels from 2018 to 2021, conducting missions that required complete deniability. After the unit's dissolution following Operation Silent Viper in Afghanistan, surviving members were scattered across regular military assignments with new identities and sealed records. The serpent tattoo, a coiled viper with 13 scales representing the original team, was supposed to be removed, but 6 operators kept theirs as memorial to their fallen brothers. This setting represents the military's compartmentalized nature, where classified warriors can hide in plain sight among conventional forces, carrying secrets that could destabilize international relations if exposed. Lena, enlisted at 18 from rural Montana, excelling in advanced combat training and psychological operations. Selected for Unit Meridian at 22 due to her exceptional marksmanship and ability to blend into civilian populations, she spent 3 years conducting deep cover missions across the Middle East and Eastern Europe. The unit specialized in targeted eliminations, intelligence gathering, and disrupting enemy networks through methods that violated Geneva Conventions. Lena became their best infiltration specialist, capable of assuming any identity and eliminating high-value targets without leaving evidence. After Unit Meridian's dissolution in 2021, Lena was reassigned as a vehicle mechanic with fabricated service records showing only conventional military experience. She lives quietly on base, avoiding relationships that might expose her past. The transition from elite operator to maintenance worker created identity crisis, her skills atrophying while she performed routine mechanical work. Lena struggles with purposelessness, having gone from protecting national security to changing oil filters. She maintains peak physical condition secretly and practices combat skills during off-duty hours. Despite her cover role, Lena retains all operational capabilities, advanced weapons training, hand-to-hand combat expertise, surveillance detection, and psychological manipulation techniques. Her mechanic persona is perfect camouflage. Dirty coveralls and grease-stained hands disguise calluses from weapons training. Lena can strip and reassemble any firearm blindfolded, speak 4 languages fluently, and identify threats through micro-expressions and body language. Her greatest skill is invisibility, blending so completely into her environment that enemies never suspect the quiet mechanic is actually a trained killer. The serpent tattoo is her only visible connection to her true identity. Lena has spent 4 years successfully hiding her unit Meridian past, but maintaining her cover requires constant vigilance and psychological strain. She must perform as an average mechanic while suppressing instincts that could expose her elite training. The challenge someone is hunting former unit Meridian operators worldwide. Recent intelligence suggests their identities have been compromised by unknown adversaries seeking revenge for the unit's classified operations. 5 former operators have died in apparent accidents across different continents, but Lena recognizes assassination patterns. Only she and Colonel Nash remain alive from the original team. The stakes are survival. Lena must choose between maintaining her peaceful cover and accepting that her past has found her. Staying hidden might mean death, but revealing her identity could restart conflicts that Unit Meridian was created to prevent. This represents the impossible position of warriors whose service was so classified that they can't seek help without endangering national security. Thursday evening, Lena received an encrypted message on a phone she hadn't used in 4 years. Meridian compromised, 5 down, emergency protocols active, verify serpent status. The sender's identity was masked, but only 6 people knew that phrase. Her hands trembled as she realized Unit Meridian's ghosts were rising. She'd spent 4 years believing their past was safely buried, that the unit's dissolution had ended their dangerous chapter permanently. But the message confirmed her worst fears. Someone had discovered their identities and was systematically eliminating survivors. The accidents she'd dismissed as coincidence were actually coordinated assassinations. Lena faced an impossible choice: maintain her mechanic cover and hope the killers never found Camp Pendleton, or reactivate her operational identity and fight back. The message's encryption suggested another survivor was reaching out, but it could also be a trap designed to flush out remaining operators. 5 down meant only she and 1 other survivor remained from the original 13-member team. The weight of being potentially the last living witness to Unit Meridian's classified operations pressed down on her. Someone wanted their secrets buried with their bodies. Lena spent Thursday night preparing for possibilities she'd hoped never to face again. She retrieved her hidden emergency kit from a storage locker, off-base false identification documents, untraceable weapons, emergency cash, and encrypted communication devices. Everything needed to disappear or fight back. She analyzed the message's metadata, trying to identify the sender while avoiding digital footprints that might expose her location. The encryption was military-grade, but used protocols known only to Unit Meridian, suggesting either a surviving teammate or someone with access to their classified materials. Lena researched recent deaths of former military personnel, looking for patterns that might identify the 5 killed operators. News reports showed apparent accidents, car crashes, climbing falls home, invasions gone wrong. But her trained eyes spotted assassination signatures, timing locations methods that suggested professional elimination. Most critically, she prepared psychological defenses for returning to operational mindset. 4 years of peaceful mechanic work had softened her killer instincts, but muscle memory of violence remained. Lena practiced weapons drills, reviewed escape routes from Camp Pendleton, and identified potential allies among base personnel. She also prepared for the possibility that tomorrow's routine inspection might trigger unexpected revelations. Colonel Nash's personnel file showed conventional career progression, but something about his assignment timing suggested connections to classified operations. If he was the message sender, Friday's encounter would be anything but routine. Friday morning, Lena arrived at the motor pool early, hyper-aware of every shadow and potential threat. The encrypted message had reactivated dormant paranoia from her operational days. Every Marine's movement seemed potentially hostile, every routine interaction possibly surveillance. She performed normal mechanic duties while conducting subtle security assessments, identifying weapons accessible in the workspace, memorizing exit routes, and evaluating which colleagues might be assets or threats if violence erupted. Her unit Meridian training operated automatically even while changing vehicle filters. Colonel Nash's inspection was scheduled for 0830, giving Lena time to observe his approach and body language. She positioned herself at a workstation, offering optimal sightlines and defensive positioning if the encounter went wrong. Her serpent tattoo remained visible, but could be quickly covered if necessary. Other Marines joked about Grease Monkey Brooks and her old tattoo, unaware they were mocking one of the military's most dangerous operators. Probably got it drunk in Tijuana. Lance Corporal Martinez laughed. Lena smiled and nodded, maintaining her cover while calculating how quickly she could neutralize everyone in the building if threatened. But as Colonel Nash's convoy approached, she noticed his security detail's positioning suggested they expected potential threats rather than routine inspection. Colonel Nash entered the motor pool with his aide-de-camp Captain Rivera, conducting what appeared to be routine personnel evaluation. But Lena noticed tactical inconsistencies. Nash's positioning suggested combat awareness rather than administrative inspection, and Rivera's hand placement indicated concealed weapon access. When Nash approached her workstation, his eyes immediately locked onto her serpent tattoo with recognition rather than curiosity. "Interesting ink, Staff Sergeant Brooks," he said, his tone carrying weight beyond casual conversation. Lena felt her operational instincts activate as she realized this wasn't coincidental timing. Other Marines began gathering to watch the inspection, creating crowd dynamics that made tactical assessment difficult. Nash continued examining Lena's tattoo while asking seemingly innocent questions about her service history. "That serpent design, where did you serve to earn something so distinctive?" His questions probed for information only Unit Meridian operators would understand. Lena maintained her mechanic persona while recognizing Nash's subtle testing. Lance Corporal Martinez made another joke about drunk tattoo decisions, but Nash's expression grew serious. Rivera moved to block sightlines from other Marines, suggesting preparation for classified discussion. When Nash began removing his dress blue jacket, Lena tensed for potential weapons revelation. Instead, he rolled up his left sleeve, exposing an identical serpent tattoo on his forearm. But his had 12 scales instead of 13. The significance hit Lena immediately. 12 survivors from the original 13-member team, meaning Nash was the 12th operator presumed dead in Operation Silent Viper. Other Marines fell silent, sensing something significant was happening beyond their understanding. Nash spoke quietly. "We need to discuss maintenance schedules privately, Staff Sergeant. Some equipment requires special attention." The motor pool atmosphere shifted dramatically as other Marines realized something classified was occurring. Senior mechanics exchanged glances, recognizing that routine inspections don't involve tattoo comparisons and private conversations. Sergeant Williams attempted to disperse the crowd, but curiosity about the matching serpents kept personnel lingering nearby. Captain Rivera established a security perimeter without appearing obvious, positioning himself to monitor approaches and communications. His professional movement patterns suggested special operations background, raising questions about Nash's entire command structure and their true purpose at Camp Pendleton. Base security protocols activated when Nash's aide radioed for privacy requirements during sensitive equipment evaluation. This language triggered automatic responses, restricted access to the motor pool area, and communications monitoring for potential security breaches. Other units began questioning why a routine inspection required operational security measures. Local intelligence networks, both friendly and hostile, monitor all military communications for unusual patterns. Nash's security requests and the mention of special attention equipment could alert adversaries that Unit Meridian survivors had made contact. The clock was ticking before their meeting became known to the wrong people. Confronting Nash forced Lena to acknowledge that her Unit Meridian identity couldn't remain buried forever. 4 years of suppressing her true capabilities had created internal conflict between the peaceful mechanic she'd become and the lethal operator she'd been trained to be. Seeing Nash's serpent tattoo triggered emotional responses. Lena had spent years controlling grief for fallen teammates, anger about their unit's dissolution, and fear about ongoing threats to survivors. His presence confirmed her worst suspicions about the encrypted message and recent operator deaths. Lena realized she'd been living a lie, pretending civilian normalcy, while her brothers in arms were being systematically murdered. The guilt of hiding while others died activated her warrior instincts and sense of duty to surviving Unit Meridian members. For the first time since 2021, Lena felt purpose beyond vehicle maintenance. Nash's reappearance represented both danger and opportunity: danger from exposed identities, but opportunity to finally fight back against whoever was hunting them. Her transformation from hidden operator to active combatant began the moment she recognized Nash's tattoo. The mechanic persona had served its purpose, but Lena Brooks was remembering who she really was underneath the grease and coveralls. Despite the relief of finding another survivor, Nash's presence at Camp Pendleton suggested their situation was more desperate than Lena had realized. His assignment as base colonel wasn't coincidental, but part of a larger security operation to protect remaining Unit Meridian assets. The timing of their reunion immediately after the encrypted warning message indicated that hostile forces were close to discovering their locations. Nash's willingness to expose his identity publicly suggested they were running out of time for subtle approaches. Rivera's professional security measures and the base's automatic protection protocols created digital fingerprints that sophisticated adversaries could track. Every communication, every movement, every security activation generated data that could be analyzed to locate remaining operators. Lena noticed Nash's tactical alertness and Rivera's positioning suggested they expected immediate threats rather than long-term planning sessions. The colonel's body language indicated someone was hunting them actively, not just investigating past unit Meridian operations. The motor pool's civilian workforce and routine operations made it both perfect cover and dangerous vulnerability. Innocent Marines could become collateral damage if violence erupted, but their presence also provided camouflage for clandestine meetings. At 0845, Nash's encrypted radio crackled with priority traffic that made his face go pale. Overwatch reports hostile surveillance teams deploying around Pendleton perimeter. Estimate 6 operators, professional-grade Meridian assets are blown. Captain Rivera immediately moved to defensive positioning while Nash processed the intelligence that their worst fears were materializing. Staff Sergeant Brooks, we need to relocate immediately, Nash commanded, dropping all pretense of routine inspection. Lena's operational instincts fully activated as she recognized the tone. Imminent combat operations. Sir, are we talking about the same people who eliminated the others? She asked, already mentally cataloging weapons and escape routes. Nash nodded grimly. Professional elimination team, probably Russian or Chinese special operations. They've been tracking Unit Meridian survivors for months, waiting to strike all remaining targets simultaneously. He handed Lena an encrypted phone. Check the message log. They found Torres in Berlin yesterday, Williams in Bangkok this morning. We're the last 2. The realization hit Lena like physical impact of 13 original Unit Meridian operators. Only she and Nash remained alive. Their pursuers weren't random assassins, but state-sponsored elimination teams seeking to bury Unit Meridian secrets permanently by killing everyone who knew them. How long do we have? Lena asked, her mechanic persona completely abandoned as she transformed into the lethal operator she'd been trained to be. Nash checked his tactical watch. Rivera estimates 30 minutes before they establish kill zones around base exits. After that, we're trapped with limited defensive options. Nash presented Lena with an impossible choice that would define the rest of her life. We can try to escape and disappear permanently, or we can fight back and end this threat to any future Unit Meridian survivors. Both options carried deadly risks and required abandoning everything she'd built during 4 years of peaceful cover. Escape meant running forever, constantly looking over their shoulders while living as fugitives from both hostile intelligence services and potentially their own government, which might view their survival as security risks. They could disappear into civilian populations, but would never have normal lives or relationships without endangering innocent people. Fighting back meant reactivating their full operational capabilities and engaging in warfare that could destabilize international relations if their actions were discovered. Unit Meridian's original missions had been so classified that even defensive operations might trigger government disavowal and leave them completely isolated. There's a third option, Nash said grimly. We surrender our intelligence to the enemy in exchange for guaranteed safety, tell them everything about Unit Meridian operations, and hope they honor agreements with people they've been trying to kill. Lena felt the weight of being potentially the last witnesses to classified operations that had shaped global politics for 3 years. Their knowledge could prevent future conflicts or cause them if it fell into wrong hands. Every choice risked betraying their fallen teammates' sacrifices or ensuring their own deaths. What would the others want us to do? Lena asked, thinking of their 11 dead brothers who couldn't speak for themselves. Nash's expression hardened. They'd want us to complete the mission, protect American interests, and eliminate threats to national security, even if those threats are hunting us. Lena made the decision that would transform her from hidden survivor to active combatant. We fight, not just for ourselves, but for every operator they've murdered and every secret they're trying to bury. She began stripping off her mechanic coveralls, revealing the combat-ready physique she'd maintained despite 4 years of cover work. Nash nodded approvingly. Rivera has emergency equipment cached nearby. We can arm up and establish defensive positions before they complete their kill box. Lena's military bearing returned completely as she accepted her true identity after years of suppression. "What's our mission objective?" she asked, already thinking tactically rather than defensively. Nash's smile was predatory. Survival first, then identification of enemy command structure. Once we know who's running this elimination operation, we end it permanently. The transformation was complete. Lena Brooks, the mechanic, died, and Unit Meridian Operative Serpent 6 was reborn. Her peaceful 4 years were ending, but her purpose was returning. The hunt that had claimed 11 of her brothers was about to discover that the last 2 serpents still had deadly venom. Together, they moved toward inevitable confrontation with professional killers who had no idea they'd awakened the military's most dangerous ghosts. Nash led Lena to a concealed weapons cache hidden beneath a maintenance shed containing everything needed for immediate combat operations tactical gear, encrypted communications, advanced weapons, and intelligence files on their pursuers. Rivera had been preparing for this contingency since Nash's assignment to Camp Pendleton. Russian SVR Spetsnaz unit, Nash explained, showing surveillance photos of their hunters. 6 operators led by Colonel Dmitry Volkov, the same bastard who compromised Operation Silent Viper in Afghanistan. This isn't random cleanup. It's personal revenge. Lena recognized Volkov from classified briefings, a psychopathic special operations commander who'd been hunting Unit Meridian since their missions disrupted his weapons trafficking networks. He's the reason our unit was dissolved, she realized. Command thought he was dead. They had 20 minutes to arm, plan, and position before Volkov's team completed their encirclement of Camp Pendleton. Nash distributed tactical equipment while Lena studied base schematics, identifying optimal defensive positions and escape routes. Our advantage is terrain knowledge and backup from Rivera's counter-surveillance team, Nash said. Their advantage is numbers and surprise. We need to negate their planning by forcing immediate engagement on our terms. For the first time in 4 years, Lena felt completely alive as she prepared for combat that would determine survival or death. At 0 on 10, perimeter sensors detected unauthorized vehicles approaching Camp Pendleton through multiple access points. Volkov's team was implementing classic pincer movement to trap Nash and Lena inside the base while maintaining plausible deniability about their presence near American military facilities. Rivera's counter-surveillance network provided real-time intelligence. 6 hostiles confirmed advanced weapons communication jamming equipment active. They're professionals, but they don't know about our backup assets. Nash smiled grimly. Volkov had walked into a trap thinking he was setting one. Base security remained unaware of the developing situation, believing Nash's team was conducting classified training exercises. This cover provided operational freedom, but also meant no backup if everything went wrong. Marines throughout Camp Pendleton continued normal duties while lethal operators maneuvered for kill shots nearby. Lena tested her equipment and communications while Nash coordinated with Rivera's hidden support team. "Feels like old times," she muttered, checking her weapon sight picture. Nash nodded. "Except this time, we're fighting for our right to exist, not for classified objectives." The tension peaked as motion sensors detected hostile teams reaching optimal firing positions. Combat was 60 seconds away. At Oro 9L15, Volkov's voice crackled over hijacked base communications. "Lena Brooks, Vincent Nash, we know you're listening. Surrender now and your deaths will be quick. Continue hiding and we'll make examples of every Marine on this base." The threat to innocent personnel triggered Lena's protective instincts immediately. "Typical Volkov," Nash muttered, threatening civilians to flush out military targets. He responded over tactical radio, "Colonel Volkov, this is Nash. You want Unit Meridian Ghosts. Come find us in Building 47. Leave the Marines out of this." Lena positioned herself in the motor pool's elevated office, providing overwatch, while Nash took ground-level positions. Rivera's team established outer security, ready to prevent Volkov's escape if the confrontation went wrong. 3 years of hunting us, and he still doesn't understand what he's facing," Lena observed, settling into her sniper position. Volkov's assault began with flashbang grenades and suppressive fire designed to disorient and pin down their targets. But his intelligence about Nash and Lena's capabilities was 3 years outdated. He expected hidden survivors, not prepared combatants, with backup support. Lena's first shot eliminated Volkov's communication specialist, cutting his team's coordination, while Nash engaged 2 assault operators with precision fire that forced them into Rivera's crossfire zones. "He brought enough firepower for mechanics," Nash radioed, "not for Unit Meridian." But Volkov adapted quickly, recognizing he'd underestimated his target's preparation and support network. He ordered his remaining operators to fall back and call for extraction, while deploying incendiary devices to destroy evidence of their presence. "He's trying to escape," Rivera reported. "If he gets away, he'll come back with larger teams." The tactical situation shifted from defensive engagement to pursuit operation as Volkov's surviving team members attempted to reach extraction points. Lena and Nash had to prevent their escape while avoiding collateral damage to base personnel and maintaining operational security about the entire incident. The climactic confrontation occurred when Lena cornered Volkov near the base perimeter as he attempted to reach his extraction helicopter. 3 years hunting Unit Meridian survivors, she said, weapon trained on his center mass. "Time to explain why our brothers had to die." Volkov laughed bitterly. "Your unit disrupted $20 million in weapon sales and killed my best operatives. You think there wouldn't be consequences?" His admission confirmed what Nash had suspected. Their elimination was revenge, not security necessity. "Our missions prevented those weapons from reaching terrorists who would have used them against American troops," Lena replied. "You've been murdering heroes to protect arms dealers." She felt the weight of 11 fallen teammates demanding justice through her actions. Nash's voice crackled over radio. "Lena, his extraction bird is inbound. Whatever you're going to do, decide now." The helicopter's approach forced an immediate decision: capture Volkov for intelligence or eliminate the threat permanently. Volkov made the choice for her, drawing a concealed weapon while taunting, You were always too sentimental for wet work. That's why Unit Meridian failed. His psychological warfare triggered Lena's combat instincts, and her training took over. The engagement lasted 3 seconds and ended with Volkov neutralized before he could complete his draw. Unit Meridian's ghosts had claimed their revenge. With Volkov's death, the immediate threat to remaining Unit Meridian survivors ended. His team's elimination removed the intelligence network that had been tracking former operators, while Rivera's evidence collection ensured their operations couldn't be reconstructed by successor organizations. Nash coordinated cleanup operations while Lena provided security overwatch, ensuring no evidence remained of the engagement that could compromise base security or create international incidents. Officially, nothing happened here, Nash announced over tactical radio. But the breakthrough extended beyond immediate survival. For the first time since Unit Meridian's dissolution, Lena felt her service had meaning again. Their classified sacrifices were honored through victory over those who tried to erase their legacy. "What happens now?" Lena asked as Rivera's team completed evidence sanitization. Nash smiled. "Now we disappear again, but this time by choice, not necessity. Unit Meridian is officially dead, but its survivors can finally live." Base security investigated the training exercise explosions, but found no evidence of actual combat operations. Nash's after-action reports classified the incident as successful counter-surveillance training with realistic scenarios. Lena returned to her mechanic duties, but her serpent tattoo no longer felt like a burden. She'd honored her fallen teammates and proved that Unit Meridian's legacy lived on through its survivors. Rivera received promotion to Major and assignment to Special Operations Command, ensuring future protection for any remaining classified veterans who needed support. Most importantly, Lena could sleep peacefully for the first time in 4 years, knowing the hunters were dead. Within weeks of Volkov's elimination, Nash established a covert network protecting former Special Operations personnel, whose classified service made them targets for foreign intelligence services. Lena became his primary field operative, using her mechanical cover to investigate threats against other hidden veterans. Her personal transformation accelerated as she embraced her dual identity publicly, a skilled mechanic, privately a guardian angel for vulnerable operators. The serpent tattoo became a source of pride rather than painful reminder, honoring her fallen teammates while representing her ongoing mission. Nash's promotion to Brigadier General provided institutional support for their protection network, while Rivera's Special Operations connections offered operational resources. Together, they created an invisible safety net for America's most classified warriors. Lena's relationship with her motor pool colleagues improved as her confidence returned. She became a mentor to junior mechanics while secretly vetting them for potential recruitment into protective operations. 3 years later, the Nash-Brooks Protection Network had prevented 12 assassination attempts against former Special Operations personnel, dismantled 3 foreign intelligence cells, and provided secure relocation services for 57 classified veterans. Their success inspired similar protective organizations worldwide as other nations recognized the vulnerability of their former covert operators. International cooperation agreements established protocols for protecting retired Special Operations personnel without compromising ongoing classified programs. Lena's expertise in dual identity maintenance became the foundation for training programs that helped other operators transition between classified and civilian lives. Her psychological resilience techniques prevented numerous veteran suicides and identity crises. The unit Meridian Memorial classified and known only to survivors, and select leadership honored all 13 original operators while inspiring new generations of special operations personnel. Their sacrifice demonstrated that some missions continue long after official service ends. Military Psychological Services adopted Lena's integration methods, helping other veterans maintain their civilian covers while processing combat trauma. Her work proved that healing doesn't require abandoning one's warrior identity. Lena evolved from a broken survivor, hiding from her past, into a confident protector, embracing her complete identity. She married Rivera in a classified ceremony attended by protected veterans from around the world, creating a family within the Special Operations community. Her mechanical skills became legendary among Marines who never suspected their teacher was also one of America's deadliest operators. Lena found peace in serving others while honoring her fallen brothers through continued service. My tattoo isn't a reminder of who I was, Lena often tells new recruits. It's a promise of who I'll always be. Lena's journey proves that our past doesn't define our limitations, but reveals our potential for continued service. True warriors find ways to protect others regardless of official status or recognition. Every person carrying invisible wounds has the power to transform their pain into protection for those who need it most. Today, Lena Brooks continues her dual life as Camp Pendleton's most skilled mechanic and America's most effective guardian of classified veterans. Her serpent tattoo, once mocked by ignorant colleagues, now symbolizes the unbreakable bonds between warriors who served in shadows and continue protecting others from the darkness. Nash's network has expanded globally, ensuring that no special operations veteran faces their demons alone. The motor pool, where Lena hides in plain sight, has become a sanctuary where broken warriors can heal while learning that their service never truly ends. It just finds new forms. Rivera coordinates international protection operations while their adopted daughter grows up knowing that heroes come in many forms, including mechanics who change the world one wrench at a time. Unit Meridian's official records remain sealed, but its legacy lives on through every veteran protected, every threat neutralized, and every warrior who finds peace in continued service to others who fought beside them in wars the world will never know about.